So, Bronny James, Mr. Bronny James, is back. He is back back in the news because he is now officially in the G League. He's been officially sent down to the G League. And yeah, look, it is what it is. It's a bit of a weird one because he's only playing home games for South Bay. It says he'll only play for South Bay and then moving between the G League and the NBA as seen fit. So he's not going to be playing away games. He's not going to really be with the team necessarily. He's just going to be there for home games, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him in the G League because, unpopular opinion, I don't think that Bronny James is all that, even as a G League player. Like, I know some people are probably going to be like, no, that's where he should belong for his development. But I still don't think that this is a development thing. Can we let the young man develop? The problem is that it's not a development thing. And this is what people don't understand, that like it's never been about developing Bronny James into being an NBA player. It's never been about getting Bronny James to be making him a better basketball player. What it's been about, and what it's been about from day one, is having Bronny James on the roster when LeBron James is on the roster to, one, keep LeBron happy, two, keep the Lakers, even though they're not going to be championship contenders, in the media, and to make a little bit of money out of the James name. Bronny James, it's never been about development. If it was about development, Bronny James would have stayed in college. If it was about development, Bronny James, even if he wouldn't stay in college and you want to make the argument that the NBA training's better, cool, he would have been straight down the G League and maybe practicing with the team. If it was about development, Bronny James was look. Let's be completely honest. Like, if it was about development, he wouldn't be playing. He wouldn't have played first game of the season. It's not. It's about creating a moment. It's about creating money, and it's about the league trying to make some money out of nothing. And look, it is what it is. It is what it is. At this stage, we've seen Bronny James. He scored his fourth point, I guess. And they were treating him like I don't like the phrase what people are using, like treating him like a Make-A-Wish kid. But I would rather use they're treating him like the equipment manager that doesn't play for 4 years, but then they put him on for the last 5 minutes of senior night and try get him a bucket when the game's a blowout. Like, that's the thing. Like, he scored 4 points in the NBA. 4 more points than any of us watching this, let's be real. But like, this type of stuff here is just like he's just not good enough. And then he's still in the news cycle about going to and from the G League after 4 appearances in the NBA, 1 point per game, a half an assist. He's shooting 16% from the field. Like, he's so far off. Like, he's so far up. Like, there is no development thing. Like, he's just not good enough. He's just not good enough. And like, seeing all these stories, and the problem is he's still a story. He's still a story because it is a story. Like, the media can create their stories. You see here with Shams. For now, source said the G League plans for Bronny playing only home games. He shuttles between both leagues and the team manages his time. What do you mean team manages his time? So that they can parade him out on the bench like he's a circus act, and if the game's over, we can throw him on for the last 3 minutes? Like, that's realistically it. I'm not joking. That's what his time in the NBA has been so far, and that's what his time in the NBA is going to be, unless he makes the greatest improvement that a player has ever made from their day they were drafted. Like, there has never been a player as bad as Bronny James in the NBA that is not a project player. As in, is not like a Like your man AJ Johnson, who by the way was better than Bronny James before the NBA, but was not like freak athlete or like Costa Antetokounmpo where it's like coordinated 7-footer or 8-footer. Like there have been worse players than Bronny James, but they're all guys where you look at them and are like, they're project players. Like they're 2 years away from being 2 years away, and if it all clicks, they can be players. Bronny James has the same measurables other than vertical leap as me. Like, come on. He's a 6'1" guy who plays like it. He's a 6'1" small forward who can't defend, can't shoot, can't dribble, and can't pass. Like the only thing he brings is the name James Jr. It's like go develop. He's not gonna develop in the G League because he's not gonna play enough in the G League for those home games. 2, they're gonna parade him out a few times. 3, there's at least 10 players on the G League team better than him at basketball. Let's be real, it's probably the entire team is already better than him. And yeah, I don't know. And there are no hungrier players than G League players. And I mean that. The G League players for the Lakers are not going to be happy when a player that's not as good as them is taking minutes and is showing up when he feels like it. And then when they need to parade him, when they're playing a game against the specific teams and they need to parade him out in the crypto arena, parade him on the bench and video him warming up, and if it's a blowout either way, play him for 2 minutes or play him 2 minutes at the end of the second. Like, I feel bad for the kid at this stage. I do feel bad for the kid because the problem is again, it's news at the end of the day. He is in the news cycle, but he shouldn't be. Like, Bronny James should be playing his second. Realistically, Bronny James was not good enough even pre-cardiac arrest to be an NBA player. Like, I had a conversation with somebody not too long ago about Bronny James, and this is like a dude who played like high level. He played high level D3 but at D1 looks, and we both were saying it. Obviously, hindsight, considering like the fact that they were able to save his life in USC, it was the best decision for him. But at the time, from the basketball perspective, we were like, send him overseas, because if his name wasn't Bronny James Jr. or if his name wasn't LeBron James Jr., he's a mid-major player. And if he gets exposed at college basketball, he won't be drafted. But if he goes to Australia and averages 1 point a game, people are like, well, oh no, he was playing overseas and he's a guaranteed first round pick. That's what we were like. He was a guaranteed first round pick. And that's why people were just like, if you are expected to go near the top of the draft, go over, and you're like worried about it, go overseas or go to Ignite if you're in high school. Because what happened to your man DJ Wagner last year, I don't know what happened there. What happened to DJ Wagner last year? What happened to I can't even remember what the guy's name was. The number 1 recruit who went to Kentucky and stunk it up. If he went to the G League Ignite and he sucked in the G League Ignite, worst case scenario, he falls to the 10th pick. Goes overseas, worst case scenario, he falls to the 15th pick. If you're expected to be like the number 1. But if you stink it up in college, you might go and draft it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Bronny, G League, the Bronny James circus continues.